Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Child Care Director's Chair, where Erica Secoscio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Child Care Director's Chair.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Child Care Director's Chair podcast, where we empower child care directors to thrive in their roles. I'm your host, Erica Secoscio, and today we're going to talk about a topic that maybe people are not always so comfortable talking about. We're going to talk about how you can build confidence in your role as a child care director. Now, you may be a fairly new director, or maybe you've had a lot of changes that have happened in your center in the last year or so, and maybe you're not feeling as confident as you once did or as much as you would like. And, I was thinking about this because I talk to so many directors and they're so wonderful. And a lot of times they start second guessing themselves if things don't go exactly as planned. So I want to be here and be a source of inspiration for you and give you some help and also cheerlead for you, because I am rooting for you no matter where you are, no matter what type of program you're running. I feel like we all really need to support each other. I mean, our field right now is it's in flux, and you all know that. We talk about that on a daily basis here, but I need you to know that the work that you're doing matters and that you are important, and I need you to feel confident in that fact. So I thought maybe we could share a few tips on how you can build confidence for yourself. Now, as I record this, don't mind the quality. I'm actually in another hotel room. I am back in Arizona. If you listen to me daily, you know how much I love Arizona, and it's the weekend, and I am out here just doing some reflective practices for myself. And, it made me really think about the areas that I felt strong in, and I'm a pretty confident lady. So I thought, it would be great to share some of what I do to make sure that I stay confident, because like all of you, I have daily struggles too. I have budgets that I've got to worry about, and staff retention, and families, and new programs coming into my area, and state-funded pre-K is opening, and now even many of the school age programs are starting to have after-school programs right on site at their school. And, thinking about what does this all mean and how will I compete? And you have to be confident to be able to not only create a plan, but to roll out the plan to your team and really believe that it can happen. And so I thought we'd talk about it today. So the first thing is, as I said, you have to recognize your strengths. I said, I feel pretty confident, but sometimes you have to go back and just think about, okay, what strengths do I really have? And reflect on what you do know, what you do well, and how you're going to leverage those strengths to tackle the challenges with confidence. And not only when you know the strengths of yourself, but also the strengths of your team. But today we're going to focus on you. But when you understand your strengths, then you will know where you need to lean on others. So that's number one. So if you haven't done that in a while, like really sat down and thought about, what am I really good at? And you can ask other people too, because sometimes it's hard. And I've seen that when I do reviews with, people on my team, and I'll say, tell me what you think, where you have excelled this year. And people have such a hard talking positively about themselves. I'm sure you can list 20 things very quickly on all the areas you need improvement. But let's focus on what are we doing right? What are we really great at? So that's number one. Number two is, I think that it's really important to set clear goals. And setting clear goals is like a roadmap to success. And it can boost your confidence and also help keep you focused on what matters, because it's easy to get pulled away from distractions. So set those clear goals and make sure that they are something that motivates you and you get excited about, right? Remember digging into your passion, and when you work on the things that you're very passionate about, it's very easy to be confident about it. When you're picking something, maybe your goal is you have to tighten up your budget, but maybe that's not your favorite thing. Maybe you're not passionate about it, but you know it's a priority. Maybe that's where you have someone else on your team or your accountant or your CBA take the lead on that. But the things that you're really passionate about, set those goals and you be in charge of that. The other thing I think is tip number 3 would be educating yourself. Educate yourself to stay informed on the latest trends, research, and best practice in early childhood education. It can help you feel more confident in your expertise, and it gives you something to refer back on. And this is something I love to do. I love school. My sister teases me, calls me a nerd, but I love schooling. I love to learn. And I think that is one of the reasons why I am confident. And I think, too, when you are staying ahead of latest trends, that can really, really, really help you as the leader of your program or know which way, as I said, when you're making those goals, know which way to go, right? If you know that maybe your population of preschool children may be slowly or quickly, depending on your area, but may start to diminish. And so now you're going to have to figure out what's left for your program to explore in terms of expansion and growth or stability. And so the trend is maybe some programs are going to get really super boutique and super focused on providing early childhood, like infant and toddler. Maybe a program will lean towards school age, which also has challenges in itself as schools are getting out later and later and programs are starting to rent space from schools, or schools themselves are adding on enrichment programs to extend the school day. So how will you compete with that? So you have to stay ahead of the trends. I think tip number 4 when you want to become confident is embrace that you're going to be learning for life. You're not going to get a degree and then stop. You have to continually seek for opportunities to expand your knowledge and your skills. And that will increase your confidence over time. And you're going to come to a point in your career where others are going to come and seek your expertise. I can't tell you how many childcare owners that are in my state, and we call each other and we talk, what do you think about this? I heard this is coming down the line. Also, when you're part of...
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And so used to having everything in front of them right away that we forget that innovation just takes time. I myself, I get frustrated too. Why? And this as being one of my best friends is, hey, I talk to you all the time. Hey, man, I'm frustrated in the fact that I can't seem to just get there in the next day. But that's just not how these things work, right? Innovation needs to be planned out. It needs to be very methodical. And then when it finally hits, that's when it seems like to everyone else that it sort of just came out of nowhere. But to you, the amount of dedication that it took over that time.
Professional groups and organizations in the field, that also is another place so you really can continue that lifelong learning. So I think that's really important. Tip number 5, when I'm thinking about confidence, trusting your gut. Trust your instincts. You've been hired for a reason, so have confidence in your decision-making abilities and trust yourself to make the right choices. Perhaps you hired yourself, right? If you opened your own center and you've been in business 5 years, 6 years, you have an innate ability to know what you're doing. That's how come you are where you are now. So continue to follow your gut, follow your instincts, use what you have learned, both in a classroom and out. And if you feel like, again, there's an area that you're struggling with, go get help and support around that. But it doesn't mean that you're not confident or a good leader. It just means that's an area you've got to work on. Tip number 6 is definitely building relationships. Build relationships that cultivate strong connections with your staff, your parents, community members to create a supportive network that boosts your confidence. The more that people really look to you as the childcare professional, the more you're going to believe it. They say, fake it till you make it. And it's kind of the same, like work around and work with people who value your thoughts, ideas, and opinions. They don't constantly shoot you down. And then I would also say push yourself to be in rooms that you feel like maybe you're not, I don't want to say not qualified, but maybe don't be the smartest person in the room, right? So I think there's a balance there. It's okay to be the expert in the room at times, but you've got to push yourself to also be in rooms where you're not the expert in everything, where you can continue to grow, but build relationships nonetheless. Number 7 is practice effective communication. Effective communication is important for every part that we do. You have to make sure it's clear and open. When you do that, it fosters trust and confidence among your team and your stakeholders. So the more that you share with your team, the more transparent you are, the more they're going to have confidence in your decision-making ability. And sometimes they have to understand why you made those decisions. Now, it doesn't mean they have to agree with them, but they need to understand why you are making the decisions that you are making. And that's going to build that credibility, trust, and confidence. Tip number 8, I would say, is seek feedback. Don't be afraid to ask for input from your team and parents, because constructive feedback can always help you grow and improve and increase your confidence in the process, especially when you get feedback that says, I really like this change that you made, or I think that the selection of new playground equipment that you recently purchased. So the more feedback you get that's positive, the more you're going to believe in what you're doing. And then you have that backup, that support reaffirms that you are making good choices. And then if you get some negative feedback, again, don't get hung up on it. Take a look at it, see how it can help you grow and improve, and take action. Tip number 9, I love celebrate your achievements. Take the time to acknowledge and celebrate the success of your center and your team. It helps build morale and boost confidence around you. And you know what? Not just your team. Think outside of your center. Are there people that you collaborate with on a regular basis? Perhaps it's your child care coach. Perhaps it's somebody who leads the local NACI affiliate. It could be another person in a Facebook group that always gives you ideas and suggestions, right? But celebrate their achievements along with yours. Take time to acknowledge each other. It feels good. It feels good when people tell you positive things about the work you're doing. It feels good to be seen. And so reciprocate that to others. What's really funny? It's going to take me a little off track for a minute, but when you're thinking about confidence, think about somebody who's really working really hard on Facebook or Instagram or one of these social medias, and they post day after day after day. And maybe you consume their content. Maybe it's, they put different craft activities every day. And every day you go to that page and you look at it and you take those tips, but you don't say thank you, or you don't, talk with them or engage with them in some way, right? Think about how defeating that must be for them. So I think the more that you think about your sphere and the people around you and how you can contribute to their confidence as well. And as I said, today is about you, but I can't help but think of that in my own life. And that's one way that I like to give back is, I am part of several Facebook groups, and I do, when I see somebody winning, I love to say, great job, keep it up. And when I see somebody really struggling, I say, great job, keep it up. Good for you for not throwing in the towel. So let's help each other celebrate achievements, right? In your center, but also out, because we need as many educators as possible to stay in the field. And it's hard. It's hard out here. And so I'm asking you, maybe that's my ask for the day, is that you reciprocate that in the ECE community to other leaders out there and let them know they're doing a great job. And if you find that they're struggling, let them know that you're there, and we're all in it together. So I think that's important. Tip number 10 is take care of yourself. Prioritize self-care to maintain your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, which is essential for confidence and resilience. And that's an area that I continue to work on myself because, working long days can be demanding and juggling all the things. Sometimes you forget that part. So I am here to remind you to take care of yourself, because when you look good, you feel good. And when you're well rested and when you get physical activity or sunshine, for me, it's definitely sunshine, you feel good. So make sure you take care of yourself. And the better that you feel, the more confident you're going to be. That's a given. They are very connected. Tip number 11, I would say stay organized. Staying organized can really help you. So what I would say is create a well-organized center by having a schedule that can help you alleviate stress and boost your confidence in managing daily operations effectively. If you have a system and you're not using it, you're stressing yourself out. You're stressing everyone else under your care. So make sure that whatever that system is that you have, work it. It's as simple as that, work it. Too many of you are just coming in and kind of just dealing with the day. You don't have a plan. You have a to-do list, but no plan on how to tackle it. So I think that that's really important. And as you start to knock these things off your list, you're going to feel better and more in control, which will lead to more confidence. And embrace challenges, which is tip number 12. Embrace challenges. View obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than setbacks. I'm going to pause there for a minute because I know so many of you get stuck in all the things that are not going right. Overcoming challenges builds confidence and resilience. So think about the last time you had a pretty big challenge and how did you overcome it? What did that feel like? I bet it felt pretty good. And so when you're struggling with something and you're not sure, how am I going to get through it? Reflect on that. Reflect on all the other challenges that you overcame and you're still here. You're still kicking it. You're still, fighting the good fight. So if you need to look back and be reflective again, that's a great way to reset your mind. Tip number 13, as always, lead by example. Demonstrate confidence, positivity, and professionalism in your actions, in your decisions. This will inspire confidence in your team, and not only inspire confidence for you by them, but also their own confidence. Because as you set that tone for your center, as I say so often, then you're walking up straight and you're, confident in what you're doing in the program. That's going to help your teachers to be confident in what they're doing in their classrooms. And you're reaffirming what they're doing. And to have the teachers create a culture of reaffirming each other. So leading by example. Tip number 14 is stay positive. Stay positive, stay positive, stay positive. Maintain an optimistic outlook, even in the face of adversity. A positive attitude can bolster confidence and motivate others. And think about fun too, which is, I'm gonna add that as part of tip 14. But think about having fun again. Get out of your office. Get in the classroom. Play with the kids. Play with your staff. Have fun. This should be fun. Of course, the work that we do is serious. But oh my God, it's a building full of children. This should be fun. It's work, but gosh, play is fun. Playing in a puddle is fun. Drawing with chalk is fun. Blowing bubbles is fun. Dancing around is fun. So, make it part of your plan that maybe you spend 30 minutes in a week in classrooms just having fun. Maybe that's on your to-do list. Maybe that'll help keep things in perspective for you. And again, the more you enjoy what you're doing, the more confident you're going to be. Also, when you're talking with teachers about strategies that they can use in the classroom, how are you going to do that if you don't even interact with the kids in the room? I'm serious, guys. Like, it's insane that you're going to say to somebody, oh, this is how you're going to handle Johnny, if you've not spent more than 4 minutes with Johnny in the last year. So I'm going to say that. Tip number 15, celebrate your wins. Recognize and celebrate progress, no matter how small. It really does reinforce confidence and momentum, right? It's a step at a time. It's a day at a time. Tip number 16, delegate effectively. Trust your team to handle tasks and responsibilities, which frees up your time and boosts confidence in your leadership abilities. Because if you feel like you have to do everything, then are you really leading? Your job as a leader is to build the people around you. And so if you keep everything to yourself, it's selfish. It also shows that you don't have confidence in delegation. It shows you don't have confidence in your team or your leadership abilities. So just be very mindful. If you think you're the only one who can do everything, it seems as though maybe you're not as confident as you should be in your leadership skills. Tip 17 is practice self-reflection, which I think is so important. And as I get older, I do it a little bit more. In my younger years, I would just be always so busy and just doing task to task, thing to thing, project to project, setting goal after goal. And I didn't really take the time to reflect on all I had accomplished. And so I think practicing self-reflection is a great time to reflect on your successes, your challenges, and your areas for improvement. It also fosters self-awareness, which I think is such a part of being confident. I am very self-assured of who I am. I'm very self-aware of who I am. I can walk into a room of 600 people and feel very confident to be there. And it wouldn't matter to me who those people were. I just very self-aware. I love people. And so I know no matter where I go, I'm going to make a friend. I'm going to talk to people. And I build a lot of relationships that way. It's just being self-aware and being confident to say, hello, I'm Erica. Nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. And we start talking. And so that's probably why I love podcasting so much. Tip number 18 is surround yourself with support, which I'm going to do an episode on that tomorrow. We'll just briefly touch base, but surround yourself with support. Seek out mentors, peers, and professional networks that provide encouragement and guidance and bolster your confidence. Because you're going to go into groups and you're going to take some and you're going to give some. And the more that you do that, the more you have that exchange with people in our field, the better you are going to be at what you do. And for some of you, I know it's hard, but step out of your comfort zone, which is tip number 19. Step out of that comfort zone. You may walk in a room of 600 people and not talk to anybody, or only the person that you went to the event with. Knock it off. Embrace new opportunities and challenges that push you to grow and expand your skills. And it also will increase your confidence during the process, but go ahead and do it. Try something new. Get outside of your comfort zone. Maybe you've never done anything around advocacy. Well, this is your year. Write a letter, write a testimony, go to a rally, speak to a local representative who is voting on bills that affect your business, become a member of NACI, get active, do something you're not doing. The amount of excitement that you will start to feel and help renew what you love doing, renew that passion about ECE or youth field, depending on, what ages you work with, but that will help you renew your passion. And when that happens, and the more excited you get about talking about it and doing something about what's going on in our field, the better you're going to be. Which brings me to the last tip, which is number 20. Believe in yourself. Have confidence in your abilities, your knowledge, your expertise as a child care director. Because when you believe in yourself, others will too. And I believe in you. That's why I tune in every day, turn on the record button, and want to plug in with you. I care what you have to say. I care about you. I want you to be as successful as possible. And I will do everything that I can in my power to help all of you. So please, if you've not interacted with me before, hop on over to Facebook, shoot me an inbox. I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. I'll be happy to talk with you. If this is your first time tuning into our podcast, I should have said welcome a lot earlier, but welcome. And for those who tune in every day, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, but I want to make sure you don't forget that. So that wraps up today's episode of the Child Care Director's Chair. And remember, confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build over time through experience, reflection, and growth. So hopefully implementing some of these steps will help you cultivate the confidence that you need to excel in your role as a early childhood leader. Thanks again for tuning in. Remember, it's the small things that make a big impact on the success of your child care business. Have a great day.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Child Care Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.